Good evening, everyone. I'm just sitting here wondering how long we're going to make it tonight. Uh, I've heard that you don't have this problem with anybody else. Nobody else's live streams get sliced off but mine. Hmm. Anyway, a lot of you seem to like what I did last time, talk about a bunch of stuff and then go into a Q&A. So yes, this will be an Ask Me Anything. Got some stuff we're going to go through first. So, really genuinely, and by the way, yeah, we can all drop a Denver sucks in the chat there. And hello to everyone, and thank you for the teal pair, Grand. I really appreciate that. Really, the only major science news that has come out since the last time we chatted like this, the strong ancient magnetic field of the planet. I'd like to think that the comment section on yesterday morning's video indicated that a lot of you remembered and your brain instantly clicked over to the magnetic reversal roller coaster meme that I made a couple years ago. But the evening video last night, it seemed like that one was pretty clear. The comments were indicating that it was easy to understand. For those who didn't get a chance to see it, basically, when the first time I ever hit 1 million views on one video, there was within a couple of days a flood of mainstream science articles that came out trying to quell fear regarding Earth's disaster cycle, the magnetic pole shift of Earth, etc. They were all actually pretty quickly debunked in scientific papers or self-retracted. The only one that really started to pick up steam was this idea that, hey, Earth's magnetic field is pretty strong right now. It was way weaker in the past. So, hey, if we have a super strong field right now, there's no reason to think that we are too close to another magnetic pole shift. Well, the paper that we got a couple of years ago, it wasn't a direct response to that, but in our minds as observers, it confirmed that, hey, we have not only these geomagnetic excursions, these magnetic pole shifts, but they happen rapidly. And it doesn't matter if the field is weak, strong, average. It just doesn't matter. There's not a correlation between how strong the field is and getting the reversal. When it's time, it's time. It doesn't care if it's going to slide down a little hill or it's going to come from a great peak. When it's time, it's time. And then, of course, the importance of the paper yesterday was that the period that they were looking back to in Earth's history that did not have a strong geomagnetic field, which was the basis for their entire argument, turns out it actually did have a strong geomagnetic field. So not only was their argument complete nonsense and the wrong way to think about magnetic pole shifts, but the foundation of their argument turned out to be not true and 180 degrees in the other direction. So I hope that was clear. It's unfortunate that what it means is that, yep, this is happening, which most of us already knew. But that is the top science news. The other science thing I want to hit here before I have two little administrative notes. Sunspots. Sunspots are, how long was I talking about? Beginning of September is when we should see the next Riger cycle uptick. We've had a lot more sunspots. Interestingly, they have not been tremendously active. We have had more solar flares than usual. Thank you, Katie Light. Love the teal pair. They have been more frequent than usual, but they haven't been titanic. What I can say is there are a couple of interesting looking sunspot groups on the sun right now, including a new one that was really hard to see, and I couldn't tell if it was just a surface plague or something else this morning when I looked, but I'm looking now, and it's definitely a brand new sunspot group that was born on our star today. And it looks like from helioseismology, there are more large sunspot groups about to come over the limb. And so it could be we could have a mid-September or I guess it would be a late September by the time they come around and start doing something, ramp up in space weather activity, which is, it's a little bit exciting, but also we genuinely have the Russell McPherson effect, the equatorial, the equinox geomagnetic vulnerability that peaks in 6 days here. And it's basically like a 3 or 4 day peak. And so space weather is kind of on my eye a little more than it was a month ago, put it that way. Elizabeth, thank you for the teal pair. I'm going to quickly hit some of these. What's my take on the red dots, black hole stars? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Suspect Sky in the chat? No way. Oh, there he is. Yay. What's up, Adrian? Mark Barn Farmer, thank you for the teal pair. Anyway, 2 quick little administrative notes. It is taking a lot longer than I promised you it would to put the winter tour together. It's looking like for sure we're going to be doing Omaha, Nebraska, Orlando, Florida, San Diego, California, and although I haven't officially got everything set yet, I plan to do Dallas, Texas as well. Maybe some others if there's room for it, but that will definitely be where it is. And so that's going to end up being from the end of November, probably into the new year. Once a month, I'll be popping out somewhere for an event like that. And I would love to see you guys. And I'm going to be coming with goodies to share for everybody who shows up at those winter tour stops, by the way. The other thing is today is halfway through the month of September. So how are we doing with September cut month? I know there's a bunch of you who are doing this with me. I think that's freaking awesome. I am down 6.5 pounds in the first 15 days. If I could do that for the last half of the month, that would be fantastic. Of course, as you get down lower in body fat, it becomes really challenging. I can actually see it here a little more. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Keep it up. I know like this is about the time when it gets a little hard. Keep going. All right. That was all I had for you. That was pretty good. We ran through that in 7.5 minutes. Yeah. What do we have here? Ask me anything. Sunspots, Earth's disaster cycle, cosmology, Charlie Kirk. But don't ask me what I had for breakfast. Oh, there we go. We have a lot of answers of people doing cool stuff. You'd be mad at my cut. I'm always mad at you for your physics stuff, Adrian, your physical stuff. We just have different approaches. What is my favorite muscle car? I don't know. I've never thought about it that much. It's an interesting question though. Somebody said yes, Nashville. That's not one of the cities I mentioned. When will the flip happen? What year? I'm sorry. Do I look like Jesus? Was it confirmed that our sun has had a micronova in the Holocene, or is that still theoretical based on isotopic data? Well, technically, that is definitely still theoretical. I have shown all of the evidence, exhausted the evidence. Most of that, nobody has ever even attempted to countervail or even discuss whether or not my hypothesis on how it all fits together works. They just like to say, no. That can't possibly be true on the sun, even though every time they have to update the science on it, they move closer and closer to where I'm standing. They'll get to my feet eventually. Jeff Grimes, I'm all in on carnivore, down 8 pounds. Thanks for setting it up. That's fantastic. Congratulations. Oh, that's cute. Somebody said, Space Weather News, have you noticed the increase in ultraviolet radiation? That's Mr. Space Weather. No, you can just call me Ben. It's okay. I have not noticed an increase in UV radiation. I spend a lot of time out in the sun. And I'm curious if you've ever watched Ancient Apocalypse. No, I haven't. Okay, well, I'm glad that you think that they were trying to record auroras and not snakes, fiery snakes in the sky. I agree, and I've said that many times. In fact, I think that it goes way back. You know, one of the best examples we do have that is written down is Moses's staff protecting against the fire serpents. His staff design looks exactly like Nikola Tesla's lightning protector, and I think that it was during the geomagnetic excursion that those auroral streams were actually coming and striking the ground and actually burning people. So, um, yeah. Are you a hunter? I've hunted. I don't enjoy it. How far down the line on sending out books and merchandise? We're going as fast as we can. I can't even begin to tell you how long it takes to do this stuff. So I was signing books for hours today, and I was able to get a couple hundred done. Um, the last 5 days, I've had all three kids, and so I didn't get as much done. Um, Today was productive. Tomorrow will be productive, and then I get the kids for 2 days. We're on the 5225 for those of you who understand and know what that schedule is. My God, I hate it. I really hate it, but I will comply. Anyway, I'm trying. We're going as fast as we can. I promise. I'm sorry. Saw an article about Antarctica gaining lots more ice. Was it me? Was it my show when I keep publishing those articles? Any thoughts on that? Yeah, it's what we said was going to happen. This is completely expected. Global warming is nonsense. What do you think about Three Eye Atlas? It's a comet that is drawing a lot of attention for reasons I don't fully understand. But then again, I also understand how easily debunkable a lot of the crazy shit they're saying about it actually is. Dabo9. It seems the sun has most CMEs away from the Earth. Does the Earth's magnetic field or something repel them, make them weaker facing Earth? What I would do is I would go to my channel and look for videos called Earth Facing Solar Quiet. I have several videos on this, and I think they will be informative and helpful in your quest to answer the question. Golden Rule says, are there those in science leadership that you know of that are concerned about a micronova? Yeah. That don't speak due to fear of professional implications? Yeah. Absolutely. The only one who will talk about it openly is retired, doesn't rely on contracts or grants or anything else like that. It's August Dunning. You guys know he worked for NASA. He was a professor at Caltech. You know, he's on board with all of this, and you know he'll tell you that, like, look, these people have careers, they have loans, they have debt, they can't be jeopardizing their position. And to be honest, I don't want them jeopardizing their position. I like them in the shadows where they can actually be useful to us. I don't want to throw any of these people under the bus. Do you remember what happened to Kong Papu Yen and Dr. Chris Holloman for writing that paper on how the sun triggers earthquakes with me? I would have gone it alone if I had known what was going to happen, but I wanted to make sure that the NASA engineer and physics genius thought that my idea made sense. And then I wanted the department head of the Ohio State Statistics Department to confirm what I was seeing mathematically. They paid the price for helping me. So I'm much happier having all my friends in the shadows where they can actually be helpful. Are your kids vaccinated? No, none of them. And yet somehow my youngest has autism. I must have missed those, Ben. Thanks. I have done the homework though. Yeah, I don't even know if that's that's not really part of the catastrophe homework. I don't even know if it's in any of the playlists. You really would have had to have like been back there years ago and actually caught them. Is there a study that shows the sun going from yellow to white? Sorry if I missed it. And no, there is no study on that. There is no way anything like that would ever be allowed to get published. I'll promise you that. Fair question, though, and I wish it would. What about Cleveland, Ohio during the flip? Jesus, Larry. Interesting. Hey, guys, quick question. Have you seen that dude down in Panama A meteorite landed in his backyard. He went to go get it, brought it in. He started running a bunch of tests on it. It was burning things that it was touching. Then something black started growing out of it. He got scared, and so he threw it in a safe, and he's driving it somewhere, and he stopped. He had to stop for gas or food or whatever, and he opened up the safe, and the thing had basically grown to take up the entire safe. Have any of you guys seen anything debunking this? Because this is like the scariest thing I've ever seen. This is straight out of an alien microbe comes down and destroys the world horror movie. Have you guys seen this? And do you have any reason to think it is true? By the way, Susie, I see you right there. You're doing well on Cut Month. Fantastic. Live like a Viking. Can't wait to see you and Leia. But have you guys seen this? I can't. I mean, it looks so legitimate. It really doesn't look like AI at all. But I mean, also, like, I'm just good at noticing that stuff. I'm fantastic at math and physics and space weather. I'm not fantastic at figuring out those like UFO videos and whatever the hell is growing out of this meteorite. I'm not fantastic at that. And so I don't know. Did any of you guys see that at all? What discipline of science was your first chosen area of study? Meteorology. You saw it debunked on X today. Apparently there are instruction videos on how to create a similar construct. Oh, thank God. That's why I asked. First of all, I am going to check into that because hopefully it's true, because I got to tell you, this is, you know what? I'm going to choose to believe that it has been debunked because it's too scary otherwise. It's one of the more concerning things I've ever seen, but also, like, this isn't like reading a paper in the Astrophysical Journal. I don't know how to dissect a video like that, that's out of my, thank goodness. Because yes, it looked like venom. It looked like venom coming out of this rock. It's the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. I like to dead name X. It's Twitter forever. Yeah, it is. Elon doesn't suck. Red Pepper 44. Come on now. Anyway, all right, I'm going to choose to believe it's been debunked, because that would be wonderful. The meteorite guy is Ken Panama. All right, so that'll make it easy to look up if you guys haven't seen it yet. Space fungus. Yes. Adrian, maybe you should talk about that. Even if it is debunked, like, that's something to consider. Christ-centered keto, that's a heck of a thing. Nice. Sounds like muscular Christianity. I think that's going to be my new denomination, by the way. Can't think of a better one for myself. Teal pear, appreciate it. Have you seen anything about plants behaving strangely due to weather? I have had second blooms and very late blooms this year when never occurring before. I can't say I've noticed anything like that, but maybe other people have. That'd be interesting. Thanks for all you do. Down 5 pounds. Sooner or later, toilet paper will run out. Best replacement? Corn cobs? ? Shells? Rocks? No, I would think big leaves. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what the best replacement is. Certainly something to ponder before all this happens. You should see the Voyager 1 and 2. What do you mean I should see them? I don't know what you mean by that, Papa Smurf. Is that the one where a meteor is in the decorative cake thing? Whose wife would allow that? I have absolutely no idea what that means. Mullen. What are people saying mullen for? What is this? Oh. Is there any way to hurry the micronova? No, unfortunately, there's not. I know, right? I know. That's the homework for everyone. What to use after toilet paper is gone. That actually would not be the worst. Oh, mullein leaves for toilet paper. Gotcha. Water is the best. Yeah, technically true. What are my thoughts on sound having properties and uses we're not aware of? I'm sure that's the case. What about the rocket hitting the meteor in China? I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Joe Peterson, yeah, I hope to see you too soon. You soon too, my friend. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Micronova first, right before the rest? Question mark. I'm not sure what you're asking me there. What atmospheric conditions hinders HF radio comms? I do not know. I'm not an HF radio expert. What do you speculate is the gray clay-like film on the leaves of plants that has appeared all in the outdoor plants this summer? I've not seen it. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. What is the next good book of yours to read after the Simple Earth Disaster Cycle book? The Complex Earth Disaster Cycle book that people are getting in the mail every day right now. Did you miss that, Jen? Sorry. Do you think preservatives in our food is done because of the excursion? We'll all have to take one for the team. I'm not sure what that means, but I don't love preservatives. Okay, are we back? Cocksuckers. All right, questions. Good questions. And please, teal pears. Ben needs teal pears. Grow your own chickens. I've never heard it phrased grow your own chickens, but okay. Silver and uranium are about to blast off, FYI. Well, that's interesting. I don't have any uranium, but I have plenty of silver. Ben, do you think if we had a large enough CME in the high X class, it could mess with or flip our poles and get our pole change process and earth roll started? In theory, it's possible. I don't think it could get the actual crustal shift started. That requires unlocking the crust from the mantle, which basically takes the micronova. Did you always want to be a meteorologist? Yes, I did. It looks like a Mayan calendar behind you. Do you think they interpreted these 2012 end date correctly? Obviously not. Sources you get your info from Morning News. Do you think if the data was showing catastrophic changes, they would put out false better data? It's all automated. Like nobody's at the wheel. Nobody's at the wheel. It's all automated. I'm serious. And I wake up before they do. Aja, Susie, thank you for those teal pears. I'm feeling better already. Which podcast were you on in Sarasota and when will it air? Matt Beal, Limitless, and it's 3 days away. And I want to say right now, it is very well understood that a lot of people loved when I was on Alex Jones. A lot of people loved when I was on Tim Pool. Although you seem to be split. Some of you like the first time, some of you like the second time. It's pretty well agreed upon that my interview with Brett Weinstein on Dark Horse last year was the best one I've ever done. That may change in 3 days. It was epic. And Matt's a cool guy. His team is cool. This is probably the best one I've ever done. And yes, I'll be giving you all the links when it comes out here in a couple days. It's good enough that I'm going to spend some time clipping it up and, putting the clips out and then with the link, like watch the full video here. It's really good. Oh, scroll too far. Hey, Ben, how goes it? Barefooted Gardener, what's up? I'm curious about the Heinrich event being offset by the extra solar energy due to lower field percentage. Yes, plants are definitely responding to current conditions. They might be. I think the Heinrich event's going to happen a little bit. How do I put this? I'm betting that the Heinrich event is in the days right after the micronova. And then that fades over a couple of weeks back to normal temperatures. I don't have time at this exact moment to go over those things I've talked about before, but it's an absolute cold shock for this planet after the micronova and tilting of the crust. But it really shouldn't last too long. Will you have meat rabbits and or aquaponics or mushrooms? We're going to try to do a lot of different things. Do you know a good meteorologist? I don't know what that is. Was that supposed to be a meteorologist? I don't know many of those. If you're asking about meteor experts, no, I don't know any. Have any thoughts if the pyramid's functional or not? I don't think so. But they may once have been functional in the way that you mean. And I do know what you mean. Would you recommend the Adam and Eve book by Chan Thomas and the World in Peril by Major E. White? I recommend cautious readings of those. Chan Thomas gives a lot. He's a brilliant writer. The first chapter of that book is more entertaining than anything Stephen King has ever given us. But he also Chan Thomas made some mistakes. He definitely made some mistakes with the severity of the event. And depending on which version you got, if you got the 1960s version, okay, good. It's not the worst thing ever. If you can find his like 1992 or 1993 version, he finally, in his last update, blames the sun and the galactic magnetic field, just like I do. If you can find the version of the Adam and Eve story from the 90s, I think it's Tiger Press or something like that. That would be the one I recommend the most. Jim Rose, thank you for that teal pair, by the way. Oh dear, I have missed quite a number of things here. Katie Light, thank you. I really appreciate you. You just drop something nice in every once in a while, and you're wonderful. James Webb Space Telescope, have you heard about the universe and the black hole hypothesis coming out based on newer data? Think we live in a black hole. I think that's complete nonsense. And can you create a globe like the one behind you, but with the new poles? I'd buy it. I don't have time to like design and market and ship those things. Like, I'd love to, but no, I really can't. Super excited for the new podcast visit. Always great to see reactions afterward from people new to the information. And you usually get on a roll and drop some great insights. I did pretty well on Limitless. And Matt, like I said, Matt Beal's a good host as well. Your thoughts on whether or not we are in a fight between good and evil in our civilization? Most definitely, yes. I believe you are a soldier for good, and I'm glad for it. Oh, I'm glad I give off that impression. Bring you out so you can be seen, by the way. Jim, thank you for the teal pair. Suspect Sky, what's up, dude? Dude, you don't have to super chat me, buddy. For those who don't know, Suspect Sky is, you should check out his channel. He's got amazing videos. He's my best friend from childhood. His name's Adrian. He has spoken at every single Observing the Frontier conference. I think he and August are the only ones we could say. No, actually, Dr. Robitaille came to every single one too, didn't he? That's true. Watch the series alone and get inspired to survive. Yes, sir. Yep, scrolling. Barb, good to see you. Thank you for that teal pair. When it gets cold, this is why I'm in quilt making production, buying wool blankets when I find them, knitting wool socks. Susie, we all know that you are Viking strong. That sounds like a good idea, though. I love socks. I love winter socks. They're like the best thing ever. The Untethered Soul book is amazing for mentality. Interesting. Haven't heard of that one before. Limited budget. I'm thinking of repurposing Seal backyard swimming pool in West Denver house as a bunker. You think it's enough? Yeah, just like put a covering, maybe dig down a little more, have some kind of covering and then just cover that with dirt. I don't know how you're going to get into the thing, but get creative. Just get creative. What did you ask me? Oh, shit. That's what I kissed around my neck. It's been a rough week for me spiritually. Then I am very grateful you're a brother in Christ as Charlie was. Yeah. The amount of vile content that came following his death made it very clear for anyone listening to you as well. That time is ticking. Boy, I really fucking chimped out for 3 days on X, didn't I? I chimped the fuck out for 3 days when that happened. I was not a happy camper. Are any of the Observing the Frontier conferences available online? Unfortunately, I don't think they are. Some of the individual talks are. You got to go back and find them, though. I don't think they're super easy to find. And some of them, I only posted them on suspiciousobservers.org, which isn't even maintained anymore. Anyway, what's the weather like at the ranch mid-October? Mid-October for Colorado. Sweaters, colder. At night and in the morning, yeah, but if the sun comes out, it's going to be gorgeous. We'll see you for the experience. Denver and Stephen Burns suck. I'd like to be nice, but they really both do, don't they? Holy crap. Anyway. Life on Mars? Probably. Probably. Cuban Cove Runner, thank you for that, Teal Pear. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Cried for Charlie. I'm genuinely traumatized by the close-up video. We're not meant to see shit like that. Like I'm like traumatized from watching that. And I watched it pretty quick. Like I saw that maybe 22 or 23 minutes after it officially happened. They didn't pronounce him dead for, I think, another 90 minutes. But if you watch the close-up video, you already knew. You already knew, didn't you? If you saw that horrifying close-up video. Sal, I was thinking about that. And at first I told people don't watch the close-up video, but I fucking changed my mind. Watch it. Like, no, you need to see it. I feel like I'm talking to the men in the audience mostly here. Men, you need to watch this. What if that was you for something you believed in or something you talked about, and your wife is in the front row and your little daughter is just a few feet away and is so scared by the gunshot, she runs up to you not knowing that you're hemorrhaging life out of your neck? Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Anybody who saw that video didn't have to wait for the official announcement. We already knew. It was that bad. Just South, yes, to your super chat there. Absolutely. He probably would have been the president one day. I will say this. Whether by an assassin or just by the slow crawl of time, eventually, somebody on the left is going to die. Maybe it's going to be a heart attack. Maybe it's old age. Maybe some psycho shoots them. When it happens, I really have to implore everyone to behave better than the liberals did in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death. Like, I know some of you are going to be tempted to do to them what they did to us. And I don't have a problem with it when it's the cancel culture. Oh, you lose your job. If one of them gets assassinated or dies tragically and unexpectedly, can we not do what the left did this last week? Like, is there any chance that we could be better than that? No, no celebrating, no taunting their spouse's Facebook page. All right. Like, when it happens to them, like, can we not do that, please? Show all the support in the world if it happens. Anyway. This week, have you guys seen the videos in response to that where people were like, why were we allowed to watch that? Why would God allow us to watch that? And then have you seen people of all walks of life, left, right, rich, poor, everywhere? It's like they felt something. They got hit by a wave of energy and now they're closer to God at the exact same time that the demons of this planet are making themselves known. If this week wasn't the start of separating the wheat and the chaff, holy cow. When I first hijo de puta. If they're going to be doing this to me, I might as well say I'm really suspicious of how this happened at the exact time that he started to notice. He started noticing. Did you guys recognize that? Charlie Kirk has been noticing the last couple of weeks, and I mean noticing. A couple hours after he died, like same day, like 2 or 3 hours later, Epstein file release voted down. Now we got the bill. Can't criticize Israel. And by the way, it was also the largest and most horrible bombing of Gaza at that time. Now, here's the thing. My opinion is, fuck Israel, fuck Gaza. I don't give a shit what happens to any of them. I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't want either side to be exterminated completely. I don't like death. I also, not my circus, not my monkeys, not my problem, not America's problem, certainly shouldn't be on America's bill to pay list. Charlie Kirk was noticing. He was noticing. Those who follow me on X realize I've been noticing quite a bit the last few months. I tend to chimp out on X a little too much, don't I? Anyway, thoughts on Chuck Swindoll and his Khazarian Mafia doc? I don't have even the first idea what that is. What kind of car do I drive? I have a Chevy Suburban LT. I need something that I can carry a bunch of stuff in the trunk with, and that's safe from my 3 children. And they really like it, actually. If you don't know, the Suburbans now have, and I didn't know this. Maybe people who know cars are about to laugh at me. I hadn't been in a Suburban in quite some time. I didn't know that they had like the captain's chairs, which my kids have never been in a vehicle that has captain's chairs, and they really like that. So, thought about starting a church on the ranch yet, but who's going to lead it? I couldn't lead something like that. Like, I know, I believe, I love, but man, I'm a bad Christian. I fail to follow the commandments and the teachings all the time, multiple times a day. And it's not on purpose. It's just, as I said in that tweet, I'm hopelessly imperfect. Yeah, so somebody else would have to do that. Um, it's still daylight where you are in Colorado. Well, you must be on the very far west side of Colorado because I'm looking outside and it's pretty dark out there. Thoughts on the benefits of grounding? Absolutely. Don't go overboard with it. It's not fucking magic, but yeah, grounding, earthing, whatever you want to call it, it definitely does have benefits. They thought Charlie was extreme. They have no idea. That's actually one of the craziest things. People are like, he was so extreme. He was a right wing extremist. And like, most of us are there like, I'm glad she doesn't know what I think. Uh, no, they killed. They killed the moderate. They killed the guy who wanted to talk. Now they're stuck with the rest of us. God save them. God save them. Because I don't think they're going to stop poking the bear. They've shown no signs that they even want to stop poking the bear. Documentary: The Days of Noah stated geologic records suggest the whole Earth, even high elevations, were underwater. Grand Canyon shows layers laid down rapidly, such as chalk layer, water up high too. Yeah, high, but we're talking like you know, between 4 and 6,000 feet. So that's a vast majority of the land on this planet. It leaves a lot of peaks untouched. And if you just drive from like Denver westward across the Rockies on 70, you can look up and see water lines. You can see them. Grand, thank you for the teal pair. I appreciate that. The world gets crazy pending reset. Yeah, and it's just going to get worse and worse. It's not getting better. There is no coming back from this. There's no unity. This is just what it is. Prepare yourself. Anyway. On the topic of shiz hits the fan hygiene, M I Swack Miss Swack? I don't know. The tooth cleaning stick. I wonder if it can grow in the new Valley of the Sun. Also, did you find a new church? No, not yet. I got a lot of recommendations and I have homework to do. I ended up just reading the Bible and praying yesterday. I was also watching the children all day and I didn't. It's not like I had like time to go on some kind of adventure or mental intellectual endeavor. Anyway, Susie, you had a church and lived off grid. We just got together and sang, prayed, and read scriptures at a set time and day. That's not a bad idea. All right. Oh, I couldn't go too much longer. It's 7:30 here in the new Valley of the Sun, and I'm gonna try to get to bed early because I want to go to the gym early tomorrow, so I can spend all day signing books and hopefully finalize the Dallas event. Once I finalize the Dallas event and there's the main 4 winter tour stops, Omaha, Orlando, San Diego, and Dallas, I think we'll probably start to make tickets available. If I do go somewhere else, it would probably be somewhere like Phoenix, because I can get there real easily. And maybe something like Myrtle Beach. God, I love that place. But that would probably be the last one, and that would probably wouldn't be until March or something like that. Anyway, all right. Any last super important things here? What kind of question did I just ask you guys? Come do a show in Alberta, Canada. Yeah, not on a winter tour, I won't. That's for damn sure. Montana, same answer. We're talking about my winter tour here. Ben, I have Mayan friends here in Mexico. I was watching you when they came to visit. I told them about the flip. They knew. My friend's wife said yes every 12,000 years, and it's time now. Ever since I predicted the magnitude 8 that struck Mexico back in 2017, and I mean, I put a tiny little red dot, like 20 miles that way, 20 miles that way, my forecast fails. I put a tiny red dot on the Mexican coastline and it got struck with a magnitude 8 earthquake about 7 hours later. Ever since then, and I mean, I don't get as many new viewers now, but after that, I had tons of people in Mexico who were watching. A lot of them are very upset that I stopped the earthquake forecasting, but it was almost like a hobby. It was always like, all right, there's so much stuff here about people doing it and nobody putting it to practice. I'm going to put it to practice. And I did it pretty well. The problem is it took me like 12 hours a day. I wouldn't know what to even do to get AI to do it for me. And I taught a bunch of you how to do it. You guys remember Quake Watch? Um, it's looking like they're going to be figuring it out soon enough anyway. All right, so this is an interesting one. Are micronovas as frequent as Miyake events or are appearing to be, or is it much larger event than these X100, X1000? So here's something I'll say. The Miyake event is not the name you should use. Okay? A Miyake event is a powerful solar proton event that occurs usually during a super flare. The super flare is the X100 to X1000. The actual Miyake event is the proton storm that comes with it. And I don't know why they needed to give that a name because we already have the name super flare. But no. So the smallest Miyake events happen about every 200 years. And then the biggest ones would probably, or the biggest super flares are about an X1000 on approximately a 6,000 year recurring cycle. Micronovas on the 12,000. Okay, I scrolled too far. Prayers for all. Thank you, Grand. Susie, appreciate the teal pair. It is amazing how many are waking up to Israel. Yes. We call it the great noticing on X. To the point where there's somebody will post a random article and the headline is just super anti-white, anti-right, anti-Christian. And we'll look at the name and there'll just be a ton of comments that's saying, okay, but is he or is she? And we all know what that means. We all know what you're asking. Lot of noticing. Lots and lots of noticing. Anyway, my friends knew about procession. That's what I meant. Sorry for the mix-up. Oh, procession. Oh, okay. I don't mess with procession that much, but still, it's always good to know stuff. All right, guys. Got an interesting one in there on deck for tomorrow morning's show. And who knows, we may even have some space weather to talk about by that point. But anyway, thanks for joining us. I will see you in the morning for the daily show. Be safe, everyone.